Guys, welcome to Crypto Bin 101, the home of value and good information when it comes to cryptocurrency trading and investment. And this is the Bitcoin and Breakfast Show where we trade it and we do not gamble it. Thanks for joining me on this show this morning. Again, my name remains the same, Ahmed Oladmeji Kazim, aka KC the Great. All right, before I start the show this morning, I have a good news for you guys. I'm going to start streaming on pump.fun. I'm going to start streaming on pump.fun, and you can join me live to see all what we'll be doing on there. It's going to be very, very interesting, from sharing meme coin, from sharing signals, from sharing tokens. We're going to be doing a lot of things are going to be happening on Pump Fun, and you don't want to miss that. All right, without wasting our time, this is the Bitcoin and Breakfast Show where we trade it and we do not gamble it. And today we're going to be checking out some news that are making waves on the radar. Also, we take a look at the economic calendar, the market cap, the charts, and the sentiment of the traders that are in the market. So you do not want to miss any of what I have for you in store this morning. All right, let's go. The first news that is catching my eye is Pump Fund has now surged about 144%, and this may be the beginning as Pump.Fund flips hyper liquid in major metrics. I told you I'm going to be launching on my live trade. My live stream on pub.fun, and it's going to start today. Another news on the radar is Bitcoin inflow in last 1.5 years surpassed first 15 years combined. Can you see what I was telling you guys 3 days ago, that if you are not in crypto right now, you're going to regret it in the future? You can just put a little amount, $1, $2, $10, whatever amount you can afford to lose. You can just put it in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, any of these coins, because in future you're going to regret you did not do so, because institutions are coming in, countries are coming in, and a lot of people are beginning to be part of these things called cryptocurrency. Remember, this is not financial advice. It's just for educational purpose and entertainment. Make sure you do your own research before you invest or you put your money on any project. And we can see Bitcoin inflows in the last 1.5 years surpassed first 15 years combined together. That's what data shows. Now, speaking of Pump Fund, Pump.Fund daily revenue now tops hyper liquid as meme coin platform stages rebound. And anytime you start seeing all this frenzy coming along meme coin and all of that, it's a boil up for altcoin season. And you all know we have the FOMC, which is the fund rate cut, coming up tomorrow, and you do not want to miss that, because that is going to shift everything we've been talking about on this channel, and that is going to shift everything regarding cryptocurrency. All right, let's move on. Another news on the radar is Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Dogecoin lag as stocks as week stirs up some nerves. And we all know S&P 500 reaches the all-time high yesterday of 6,600 that have never been seen before. So a lot of people are saying maybe when the rate is even cut, we're going to see a lot of funds move into the yield, the bonds, and stocks like that, and crypto might not even live up to the expectation. But what I'm saying is, let us wait for tomorrow, guys, and see what happens. And you can see the S&P 500 and Nasdaq reach record high on Monday, leaving BTC and other major token behind. All right, more news on the radar, and this is getting interesting this morning. You can see Bitcoin and Ethereum dominate 3.3 billion crypto inflow waves amid rebound. And if you take a look at the chart, which we're going to show shortly, you see that we have a rebound of when the Bitcoin bounced off. And I told you guys last week or last 2 weeks that if we break 113K, we can get back into the trade, and that's what we've done. And we're going to wait for the news tomorrow to see if it's going to be favorable or it's not going to be favorable, because if we didn't call, if the Fed didn't cut rate tomorrow, I'm telling you crypto is going to dump. But if they cut rate and it's not that much, maybe 25 basis point, we're going to see movement, but it's not going to be that crazy like everyone is expecting. But if we see 50 basis point, 75 basis point, I tell you, no lies, we're going to see crypto market skyrocket like no other. And that's what it is on BTC. Another news on Bitcoin. Bitcoin now has 28% of its supply and could be locked up by the end of 2025. And I'm telling you why, because a lot of institutions are getting into this game. So imagine 28% of the total Bitcoin circulation is locked up by some people. That means they're going to have power to control it. So it's time you start joining and becoming part of the community. All right, let's get into another news, and this is what we should expect as traders. High volatility this week as altcoin open interest swell. Altcoin open interest is nearing Bitcoin, signaling a potential shift in market sentiment. Traders are preparing for volatility ahead of Fed Reserve policy decision this week, which is tomorrow, with leverage bets on altcoins increasing significantly in recent week. If you've been watching the show and you've been following my program, you know that I told you ETH is not a sell yet because it's been holding on. Even some of the major meme coins, they've not really broken the floor. Altcoin has not really broken the floor. The only thing that has broken a structure is Bitcoin some weeks ago, and now we're shifting up. But remember, that could be just a retrace before a dump. And if the news tomorrow is favorable, we're gonna see the market move back to the all-time high. But I believe we are shifting to altcoin season, and like I said, if nothing should happen after the rate cut tomorrow, just forget about the altcoin season and meme coin season. The bull run, it's over, and we're going to be waiting for the bear market to over. Remember, this is not financial advice, it's just for educational purpose and entertainment. Make sure you do your own research. All right, I haven't said that. Let's check more news on the radar, and this is regarding altcoins. Experts now says it's time to buy ADA after recent price dip. You know, last week or last 2 weeks when we have the Jackson Hole, no, I think it's up to 3 weeks now. When we have the Jackson Hole, you could see that ADA and SUI and some other tokens that have not been doing well, they pump a little bit before they now start retracing. And now, experts announcing probably it's time to buy. Make sure you do your own research before you put your money on any token. But as you can see, Cardano falls 4% to 0.86. But analysts cite TD sequential buy signal and cycle pattern pointing to higher target. The truth is, if what is going to happen tomorrow is going to be good news for total assets being traded in the world, we're going to see altcoin pumping. And if Bitcoin is done, we're going to see BTC dominance falling and altcoin is going to start moving. Now, speaking of altcoin, let's talk about XRP. You've now seen XRP hit 710% liquidation imbalance in just 25 hours, and that is insane. 710 liquidation imbalance stunned XRP in just 24 hours. And also, speaking of XRP now launched to test investor XRP ETF launch to test investor demand. The upcoming launch will show whether there will be enough demand for traditional spot XRP. So they're going to launch the ball. Remember, this is not the main ETF. This is just the one that will be launched by some company to see how investors will react to it in case they launch the real XRP ETF token. And we're going to be watching put our eyes on that and update you. Another news on the radar regarding meme coin Shiba Inu on verge of losing 0.00013 now, and that will be zero gold. Shiba Inu's market activity is not that impressive, but things might change in the next few months. And I told you, probably a lot of people are eyeing altcoins now. When the record happens tomorrow, we might not see BTC pumping too hard, probably back to all-time high, but altcoins, everyone is putting their eye on it, with them not even breaking the floor, possibility of them skyrocketing is there. So we might see all these altcoins doing well. And after altcoin is done, maybe probably that's when we're going to see meme coins now start moving, or they're going to move together. But remember, tomorrow is the day and you do not want to miss that. If you've not subscribed to the channel, you might want to do that right now. It's Crypto B101, the home of value and good information when it comes to cryptocurrency trading and investment. And please destroy the likes button. Follow us on Facebook, on X, on Instagram, and on TikTok to get more of this content that we have for you on this great platform. All right, one more news before we move to the next segment, and this is MoonPay buys crypto payment startup Meso to expand global reach. You can see a lot of institutions, a lot of companies, corporate bodies, treasury companies, people are adding Bitcoin to their portfolio. People are getting into cryptocurrency, and you shouldn't be left alone, because in the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years to come, we're going to be talking about crypto as we're talking about internet today. Remember when the internet came out in the 90s and we had a rug pull before it? Now we had the stability in the 2000s, but the people that got in and are using it today are now the billionaires because they started when the whole thing was nothing. And that's the same thing we should do with cryptocurrency this period. And remember, this is not financial advice. It's just for educational purpose and entertainment. Make sure you do your own research before you do anything. And remember, I'll be launching my live stream on Pump Fund today, and you don't want to be part of it. I'm going to drop the link on different social media, so make sure you follow us on all our social medias to get that. All right, that's what I have for you on the news segment this morning. Let's now move on to the market cap and the event of the day to know what is really going on before we check the chart analysis out. Now, looking at the event of the day, yesterday we had nothing much to write home about, but today we're going to be looking at CPI coming out of Canada. We're going to be looking at trim CPI also, and core retail sales will be coming out of the United States at 2:30 SCST time or 2:30 GMT, so you can know how you can convert that to your time zone. But we're going to have some important news around 2:30 p.m. SCST and 12:30 GMT today. All right, that's what we have on the economic calendar. Without wasting our time, let's move on to the cryptocurrency market cap. You can see the market cap is still above 4 trillion US dollars, and we have Pump Fund trading. Of course, Pump Fund is trending, and the top 10 still remain BTC at number 1, Ethereum at number 2, XRP at number 3, Theta at number 4, BNB at number 5, Solana at number 6, USDC at number 7, and we can see Dogecoin at number 8, Lido Stake at number 9, Tron sitting at number 10, and it has not been overthrown. The likes of Cardano, Chainlink, and others are below top 10. If you are interested in knowing where all your projects you're holding on to are sitting on the cryptocurrency rank, you might want to check out CoinGecko.com to have that information. All right, let's go into the business of the day, which is the chart analysis to see what we should expect. Is Bitcoin still a buy? Yes, you can see BTC is still a buy with the green status showing there and the weekly candle still maintaining it. But remember, we have great news coming out tomorrow. If you're interested in day trading, free educational content, or you want to learn how to trade, you might want to join my Telegram group, and the links are down in the description. It's all free of charge. Let's take a look at Ethereum. If you look at Ethereum, ETH also is still a buy, because we have now created a structure until we now break this zone, which will now be 4,200. That is when I will expect us to get out of ETH. 4,200, yes, that is when we can get out of ETH. You can see Ethereum is still holding on to the buy, so ETH is still a buy. Let's take a look at ADA since they made the news. If you look at ADA also is now a buy, even though we have a structure right there, ADA is still a buy. Let's take a look at XRP to make the news. XRP also is still a buy. You can still hold on to XRP, although we have a structure until we break below maybe 2.6. That's when we can look on how probably we should let it go. But let's check out Pump Fund. That has been the news on the radar. Look at Pump Fund. Pump Fund just keep pumping. Pump Fund just keep pumping. So is Pump Fund still a buy? Absolutely yes. Pump Fund is still a buy until we break below 0.03. That's when we can leave Pump Fund. Pump Fund is still a buy. Shiba Inu made the news as well. Let's take a look at Shiba Inu. What is Shiba Inu looking at? And if you look at Shiba Inu also is still a buy, even though all these altcoin, meme coin, they've created structure, and we're going to see if the news that will come out tomorrow is going to break them. But as long as we've not broken the structure, which is the support, which is the floor, I don't think we have any cause for alarm. We need to break them before we can say we are leaving the market. So let's take a look at some other coin, and let's take a look at Links. Links also is still, Link is not a buy. Remember I told you Chainlink broke what we call kicker, and the moment it breaks the kicker, that shows you need to do what you need to wait for us to break another weekly candle, and we've not done that, so you can stay away from Link. Let's take out Solana, since Solana is where everything is being launched right now. You can see Solana is still a buy. We still have Solana as a buy. Solana is still a buy. Let's take a look at Litecoin. Litecoin also is still a buy. So most of these coins are still a buy, and that's what I have for you on the chart this morning. Bitcoin is trading at 115,500, while ETH is trading at 4,515 thereabout. So that is what all these tokens are trading about. And without wasting our time, that's what I have for you on the show this morning. This is the Bitcoin and Breakfast Show, where we trade it and we do not gamble. If you've not subscribed to the show, please do that right now. Subscribe, like, and share, and do not forget to turn on your notification bell so you can be part of the first person to get what we drop on this show. Also, you can follow me on Facebook, you can follow me on X, you can follow me on Instagram, and also you can follow us on TikTok to get all these nuggets we have for you on this great platform. But as you all know, we are not going to do what? To end the show without checking what the cryptocurrency fear and greed index looks like, and we need to do that right now to see what the sentiment looks like on the market. And if you look at it now, you see that the sentiment is still neutral. So the sentiment is still neutral right now. Now is neutral, yesterday neutral, last week neutral, and last month was great. So it shows that everyone is waiting for what is going to happen tomorrow. And I'm telling you, tomorrow is going to be a big day for cryptocurrency, for investors, for big banks, for even stocks, bonds, all of those things out there. Tomorrow is going to be a big day, and I bet it with you, you do not want to miss the show tomorrow. All right, that's what I have for you on the show this morning. If you've not subscribed to the channel, please do that, and make sure you share and like so we can get to wider people. All right, my name still remains the same. Ahmed Kazim, aka KC the Great, and this is the Bitcoin and Breakfast Show, where we trade it and we do not gamble it. Until I see you tomorrow, peace out. And don't forget, I'll be on Pump.Farm stream live today. Peace out.